Y'all, I even got a candle. Oh my God, I just love it. But anyway, I took the time and the energy and everything to learn how to make this drink at home for those times when I don't want to go out and spend $15, because y'all know I like to stay at home. So instead of me going out there giving away 15 bucks, I learned though why you pay that much for this drink. It might be worth it, y'all. But anyway, I'm gonna give you the quick and dirty on what I know about the espresso martini and how you can duplicate this drink at home. Hello and welcome back to Selfish Saturday. I know I've been gone a minute, but it took an espresso martini to get me back. So I'm back, and I might miss one or two more Saturdays because I'm still in school, y'all. That's why I took a break to begin with. But once I graduate later this month, I will be back with more Selfish Saturday until I travel. So anyway, let's enjoy this while we can. Okay, so the espresso martini, it is one of my favorites, and I'm really grateful that when I travel, I could find this drink pretty much anywhere. What about you? Is this a drink that you like? I like it so much I even found a little espresso martini candle. And I have been holding on to this candle for maybe a year because I'm like, why did I get this? What am I gonna do with it? This is the perfect time to burn this cute little candle. So anyway, let me tell you a little bit about this wonderful drink and why I think it's wonderful, because I am definitely a coffee drinker, a coffee lover. I've always liked Kahlua, which is a coffee liqueur. Nobody is sponsoring this, so I shouldn't even be saying these names. I'm gonna go ahead on and say them because these are some that I like. But a coffee liqueur is definitely a main ingredient in an espresso martini. I think one of the reasons this drink is loved so much is because, number one, it's just different. But also, a lot of us love coffee, and a lot of us love vodka, and a lot of us love Kahlua. And those are the ingredients. And I think that's pretty much it. And you might want to add a little bit of sugar if the Kahlua doesn't give you enough sweetener, or your coffee liqueur. Because there are different brands of coffee liqueur. I just say Kahlua because that's like the main one that I know of. And a lot of us who are not bartenders, but we like these type of drinks, we know Kahlua, right? So Kahlua is from Mexico, but this drink is actually from London. Did y'all know that? Like, I did a little bit of research and found out that this drink originated in London in 1983. I thought it was a pretty interesting story how it came about. A back then famous bartender named Dick Bradsell. He has recently passed on, not recently, but since passed on. I think he passed away in, I want to say 2016, I'm not sure. But anyway, he made this drink famous. He created what was originally called a vodka espresso, or either espresso vodka. I think it was vodka espresso. But it was served in a martini glass. So it became known as an espresso martini. Now, where did this come from? In 1983, in London, at his bar, a model who was very young back then, and I guess she was like up and coming. Think about who that is, because I could not figure it out. I could not find it anywhere who this model was, but let's listen to this story and maybe we can figure it out. She walks into this bar in the middle of the night or late hours, I don't know, 1 a.m. or something like that. And she tells the bartender, I need something to wake me up and F me up. Now, who do y'all think that was? So rumor has it that it was Naomi Campbell. And then I also saw that it was Kate Moss. But then I dug a little deeper. Because, yeah, that sounds like that could be Naomi Campbell. I don't know Kate Moss like that, so I have no idea. But Naomi Campbell would have been around 13 years old at that time. So I'm pretty sure it's not her. Kate Moss would have been like 9 years old, so it wasn't her. So I dug a little deeper and I came across a few more names of models who were well known back then. And Beverly Johnson came up. That just doesn't sound like something she would say. And Iman came up. I don't see that being Iman. And then Janice Dickinson. Is it Dickinson or Dickerson? I think it's Janice Dickerson. Her name came up. I'm gonna put it on her because that chick is raunchy. I think it's her. Whoever it was, I don't know why they haven't just come out and taken credit for this drink, because I certainly would. So anyway, very simple to make. I just thought that story was interesting. And also because we're going to London. Ladies, we are going to London this May 10 through 15 for Mother's Day. And it's not just for Mother's Day, it's just that's where we will be at Mother's Day this year, which in the UK, I kind of don't even think they celebrate Mother's Day at the same time, but we will celebrate for the mothers who are in our group. And the registration is about to close for that. So if you'd like to be included, you need to get to www.welldiva.com/London. One of the things that we're going to do is check out Vanessa Williams' show. She is starring in The Devil Wears Prada, the musical. So we'll check that out. So anyway, without further ado, I'm gonna get to this drink, y'all, okay? So I have my shakers. You should have a shaker because the main thing that's gonna make this drink right is how you shake it. Now, if you have a mason jar with a tight fitting lid, that will work just fine. That is number one, how you shake this drink. You need to shake this drink to get that foam on top. Do you see that wonderful foam? That is called crema, right? That is the oils coming out of that coffee bean. And you want that. You do not want a flat drink of just espresso and no foam. It's not cute and it just doesn't taste as good. The foam is a big part of the fun of this drink. It gives a nice mouthfeel and it just looks good. Even the candle maker got the foam in there, just too cute, right? Okay, so you want your foam, so you want to shake, shake, shake so you can get the foam. The second thing that is going to really make this drink right is your ice. This drink has to be really, really cold. If you don't have enough ice, the other ingredients are going to melt the ice and water down your drink, okay? So for that reason, I keep my vodka in the freezer so that it is really nice and cold. I should have probably put the Kahlua in the freezer. I didn't think to do that, but I do keep the vodka in the freezer. And I chilled my espresso. I made my espresso a little bit earlier with my espresso maker. If you don't have an espresso maker, you can also purchase like a cold brew. That's fine. That will probably work. I think that will give you foam. I haven't tried it that way, but I do know this. It's a little secret I found out when I was in Greece. They have a drink in Greece they call the Freddo. And it's basically taking some espresso and sugar, like simple syrup, and putting it in the blender. And that will also give you that froth, okay? You didn't hear from me if a bartender asked you, because I know that's not the real way to do this. Okay, so anyway, what else? So you have your espresso, you have your nice vodka that you like, and you have your coffee liqueur. Not all coffee liqueurs are sweet. Kahlua is. If you have one, it's Black something is the name of it. Let me see if I wrote that down. Let me check my notes. It is called Mr. Black. It's a coffee liqueur that you could also use, and it is not sweet. So in that case, you want to add 10 grams of sugar or a couple of pumps of a simple syrup. Now, what I like to do is, where did I put my, excuse me, 1 second. What I like to do is add a salted caramel syrup. I find that it doesn't give a whole lot of flavor because I don't add a whole lot of it, but it adds a little bit of sweetness and a little teeny bit of salt. And you're not gonna taste the salt, but the salt helps to enhance all the other flavors. You know, if you ever bake a cake or cookies, it calls for a little bit of salt. That is to enhance all the other flavors. So that's why I like to add a little bit of salted caramel. You add a little bit more salted caramel, then you end up with a salted caramel espresso martini, which sounds good too. Because you can do anything with this. You could do a raspberry. I'm going with the syrups that I have here. If I added the raspberry syrup, I'd have a raspberry espresso martini or a coconut espresso martini. Whichever way you want to go with the flavors is fine, but I like to do just a little bit of the salted caramel. So we could even pretend that that is just simple syrup, just to add a little bit more sweetness, okay? All right, because I don't have a simple syrup. I don't do nothing simple, I guess, so. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do, I wanna make sure I covered all of the details here. I think I have. Oh, no. So I was talking about making sure this drink is cold, y'all. So what I've done is I made some ice cubes just for this drink because you need pretty much an ice block to make sure that you get your drink cold enough, okay? And so I have these silicone, these are like, I use these to make soup, okay? But now I'm using them to make some nice big ice blocks. All right, so I'm trying to think which side I put it in here. All right, so I want to have that and some additional cubes. All right, so you will want to fill your shaker with ice. That's how cold you want it. And another thing, which I forgot to put this in there, you want to put ice in your glass or put your glass in the freezer. And let me do that right quick. Okay, so chill your glass. Everything needs to be cold, all right? Okay, now let's get down to it. So my glass is chilling with ice in it. I didn't put it in the fridge or the freezer, just putting ice in that for now. All right, so we're going to take vodka, and I'm going to do approximately 40 milliliters of vodka. And let me get my glasses. I've been trying to be cute, end up spilling something. All right, so I have 2 jiggers here. I have a 25 milliliter and I have a 25 and 40 milliliter, right? Or was it 50? No, I'm sorry. I have a 30 milliliter and I have a 50 milliliter. So I'm gonna just barely fill this. Oop, well, it's okay, it's vodka. It's all right if it's a little extra, right? All right, so I'm gonna say 40 milliliters of vodka, 20 milliliters of espresso, and 20 milliliters of Kahlua. Now, if you want a larger drink, then you're gonna go 50 and 25, 25. All right. So that was 40. So I'm gonna do 20 of my coffee liqueur. And again, I already have, it's already kind of sweet, so, but I'm gonna still add just a little bit. And then, let me stir this, because I want some of that crema. All right. And I feel like I didn't get any. Gotta pour it fast if you want that. Okay, there we go. And now, that's it. And I add a little bit of sweetener. You see that? Just a little bit. That was like maybe half a tablespoon. You will sweeten this to your own taste. Okay, I can't help you with that. And then I just bought this shaker thinking I was gonna get the one that they use at home with the little lid that goes on the top. And when I opened it, it was this bartender style one. So with this kind, you wanna put it in, lean the top cup to the side because you want a flat side here, and then you get to shaking. And y'all, this is about to be some work, but here we go. I want this whole thing so ice cold that I can barely hold it, okay? And if it doesn't, if I don't shake it long enough, I'm gonna have to do it over because I won't get that foam I want. Also, when you're shaking, you want that ice to hit this end and that end. You're not doing this, you're not doing this. You want that ice to hit each end. And you want to really put your muscle into it. Okay. When you get tired, that's when you're done. All right. Okay. And I see the foam, and I hope it worked out, y'all. Okay, here's my glass. Get that ice out. I hope it's still cold enough. And here we go. So you want to make sure you put that on. That comes with your shaker. That holds the ice back, but you also want to strain because little chips of ice will get in there otherwise, and you don't want that. Okay, y'all, it's looking pretty decent, huh? I got a little foam there. And that's the goal. You want enough foam to hold those 3 coffee beans, those signature 3 coffee beans that go on top. Those beans stand for happiness, which y'all know I'm all about the happiness, right? All right. 1 bean for happiness. 1 bean for health. And you know, I would have said 1 bean for fly, but they said 1 bean for wealth. And that is how you make an espresso martini. I did it. And now look, so now we know this does not give you a full one. This gives you a half martini. So I would just double everything in order to make sure that you're getting a full espresso martini, because personally, I think this is a sample. I don't think this is a really big glass, but let me see how it tastes. Oh, that's good. This is good. This is good. So I like that ratio, you guys. You want to do 1 part espresso, 1 part coffee liqueur, to 2 parts vodka. I think that works perfectly well. So don't worry about the milliliters and all that. Go by the ratio. That's good. That's good. I'm gonna try it again because I would love to get a thicker foam. And as you practice this, your foam will get thicker and thicker. That's probably why they measured it like that, because if the foam is really thick, it would take up a lot of the glass. All right, so anyway, about our trip to London. So we will head out, we will arrive in London on May 10. And we will enjoy things like tea, of course. And like I said, the show, I'm really looking forward to that. Vanessa Williams is starring as Miranda Priestley. Are you a fan of The Devil Wears Prada? That's one of my favorite movies. I love to watch that movie over and over, particularly because of the fashion. Love the fashion in that movie. And What else? Of course, there's wonderful shopping in London. And I got one of my favorite fragrances in London, Penhaligon, when I was at the airport in London Heathrow Airport. I'm gonna get it. I want to show you that fragrance. So when I was at the London airport, I don't even remember when, I want to say last year, I picked up this wonderful fragrance. It's called Penhaligons. The label is, the brand is Penhaligons, or the house is Penhaligons. And the particular fragrance is Babylon. That's the name of it. And oh my God, I love it. It's, ooh, Lord. It has a real, y'all, you gotta have a really mature sense of smell for these type of fragrances. This is not a sweet, citrusy, floral, pretty. It's none of that. It is very grown and sexy. I smell cinnamon, but I'm going to look up the notes. I'm going to look up what else is in this, because it smells good. And you know, again, it's a very mature fragrance. So I'm not gonna say it's one of, because I hate to say, oh my God, it's wonderful, and then you get it and then you're like, you know what, it was just okay. So I'm not gonna hype it up like that. But I'm gonna look it up and see what the notes are. And then maybe you can go from there. And this fragrance house has a whole lot of fragrances. I was in the airport just going through all of them, trying to figure out which one I wanted. And I ended up going with this one. And I do get quite a few compliments on it. The top notes are coriander, nutmeg, and saffron. The base notes, vanilla, cedar, and sandalwood. And then the heart, cypriol. I do not know what that is, but I would say, and it lasts long. So you get your money's worth, because it's not a cheap fragrance. So I'm mentioning this because I want you to know some of the things you can get into in London, okay? Because I don't see this one too many places. I have seen it in the US since I purchased this, but I don't see it in a lot of places. Let me try to put it on my hands so I can smell it again. I tell you. Oop, I crushed you're not supposed to rub it. You crush the fragrance molecules and you change the way it smells. So I'm trying not to do that. But I would say spicy, a little sweet. It almost reminds me of back in the day, your mom's fragrance. If you had a mom who was into the really spicy scents like opium. Not to say it smells like opium, but it just takes me back to that time, you know? Oh, it's really nice. So anyway, about London. So of course there's the real big, beautiful double-decker bus. There's a lot of really good places to go and just enjoy the view. One of them that I visited was the Shard Hotel. They have this wonderful tea service way up high. You get tea service so many places in London. I also had tea at the Aldwych Hotel. I think it's the Aldwych Hotel. No, I think that's the Aldwych Theater. There's a hotel near the Aldwych Theater. I can't think of the name of it, but I think they're closed for renovations right now. But anyway, I had a really good vegan tea service there. So they have quite a few options for vegan. And I even went to a jazz club in London. I enjoyed that immensely. I went by myself on this trip to London, by the way. And so I enjoyed jazz there. I really enjoyed shopping. I bought some boots that were like, I don't know, $200 some odd on sale for $70. They had real good sales. So if you haven't been to London and you're curious about it, I think this would be a good time to go because it's a short trip, small group of ladies. There's less than 10 of us. I had no desire to visit London, but I went because I was going to attend a class in Rushden, which is a couple of hours away from London. And I spent a few days in London prior to going to Rushden, and I fell in love with it and was like, I could live here. Like, it was that great. I found authentic Indian food. Saw lots of African people here, there, and everywhere. So it's a real international city. And then you can also take the high-speed train over to Paris, which is what we're also doing. I think there's only like 2 or 3 of us in the group that are going to do that part. But if you're interested in both of those experiences, you will want to join us because we won't be doing this one again next year. So I think this would be a great time to join, especially if you are a person who maybe has difficulty getting through Mother's Day. I think it's important that you get away and do something that, that you can really get into and enjoy. It was originally a mother-daughter trip, but nobody's bringing their daughter except me. So yeah, it'll be a really good, enjoyable time for us ladies to enjoy some shopping and some good food. Contrary to popular belief, London does have some good restaurants. I found an amazing vegan restaurant when I was there, and a few other places. You just kind of have to know where to go, or either maybe look at some of the reviews, because I didn't get into any British food, but I did find some really good Indian food and some amazing Asian food. And that's the thing about visiting other countries. They have such good, authentic dining experiences, whereas here in the US, a lot of times we're just getting the watered down version of everything. Like I hadn't had really good Asian food until I went to Dubai. I was like, man, I knew what good Asian food was because I have traveled and lived overseas, but I hadn't done it in so long. And so when I went to Dubai, man, I was just about wanted to stay there just because of the Asian food, y'all. So anyway, look at there. My drink is holding up. My foam is holding up. I'm so proud of myself. I made that martini. And it's good. Okay. All right. So I'm going to wrap this up. So again, I said 1 part vodka. No, look, 2 parts vodka, 1 part espresso, 1 part coffee liqueur. And if your coffee liqueur is not sweetened, you'll want to add about 10 grams of sugar or some sort of sweetener. The fragrance that I got in London is by Penhaligon's, and the particular scent I got is called Babylon. If you're interested in checking that out, maybe I'll put it on not my Amazon, because we boycotting them right now. But when you go to London with me, I can show you where I got that fragrance. Okay. And that's it for now. And if you're interested in joining us, again, it is welldiva.com/London. And I will not probably see you next Saturday because I got some graduation stuff coming up. But I will, if I don't come back this month, I will be back in April prior to our trip to Jordan, which unfortunately for y'all, that one is sold out. So hope you got in if you wanted to go to Jordan. All right, take care. It's been fun, and I'm so glad to be back, and I'll see you again soon.